SpaceX's Starship is on the brink of its largest update yet. Version 3 is coming. We do a detailed analysis on what's left to make this change happen. And how exactly will SpaceX modernize the old Starship Pad? Is Sean Duffy destroying NASA? And will the largest lunar lander since the Apollo days launch on time? My name is Felix, welcome to What About It? Let's dive right in. Starship updates. Right now, all is focused on Starship version 3 at Starbase. And everything points to it arriving faster than you'd think. Let's do a checklist of what needs to be finished before Flight 12 can take place. First up, we have Massey's. It's simply needed to cryotest and static fire Ship 39, that first V3 ship. And the stand itself is in the final stretch of becoming operational for testing very soon. As you can see though, those clamps aren't evenly spaced. Some are longer and others shorter, so not all of those plates are for clamps. I'm a bit scratching my head over it. If you have any idea, write it in the comments. The Guidry's ship QD platforms are nearly done. 2 extensions reaching out like arms to handle propellant loading. The test stand has just received mounts for the clamps that are going to be installed on top of it to hold ships down during static fire tests. This is a big step toward getting the pad test ready again, and it is looking solid. After Ship 36's explosion, the fire suppression system is getting an upgrade. Buried pipes and a relocated water tank make it tougher than before, like giving the pad a reinforced shield. The system also just looks like it will be able to supply more water than before. The flame bucket seems finished, with pipes sitting untouched for weeks. In short, Massey's is just weeks away from getting operational again. On we go with Gigabay construction, the next essential item on the list of Starship version 3 related things. This building will ramp up production at Starbase like we've never seen before. Tower cranes are being built. One is already lifting parts to build another. This goes to show what will be next. Lots of vertical and horizontal beams. The skeleton of the Gigabay is about to stand up. The entire floor is complete, built above grade to avoid the concrete breaking headaches of the megabays. A Liebherr LR13000 crane is currently building 4 even more gigantic cranes to accommodate the construction phase of this monstrosity of a building. That's 120 meters of foundation, taller than a 30-story building. Workstations will sit on top, ready to streamline ship and booster production. This Gigabay will turn Starbase into a manufacturing powerhouse in 2026. Next up, we have Pad 2, the only pad at Starbase capable of launching a V3 booster. The launch mount's cladding is nearly done now. They wrapped this in armor. We'll talk about the reason a little later. Stairways and final panels are next, but there are still some gaps that need filling soon. The deluge system with its vents everywhere is built to withstand the plume from 35 Raptor engines at liftoff. The goal is clear: minimal damage after a launch. And then there is the bunker. I've been looking at images of it for a while now, and it does seem on hold at this point. The likeliest explanation would be that crews are busy at Massey's, but I expect things to speed up soon. This will be used for any sensitive GSE equipment and electronics that need to be as close to the pad as possible. SpaceX always has a backup plan. I'd also like to draw your attention to the staging area of Pad 2. SpaceX has been making great progress here on the concrete work in the past week. The staging area will be used to position starships and boosters for stacking operations, but there's one detail that I haven't figured out yet. So this is roughly where that staging area will be. A lot of rebar has gone into this concrete, showing that it will be strained, either by weight or... Take a look at those 4 outlets. I'm not sure if this is for water or if those are cryogenic fuel lines or lines for nitrogen. They are large. Depending on what they are, we can derive a few possible scenarios. If it's water coming out of those pipes in the end, the staging area might get a deluge system. This could, in theory, be used for catches. During a catch, only a few engines are active, and it happens relatively high up. A small deluge system integrated into this staging area could enable SpaceX to perform catches next to the pad instead of above it. The advantage is clear: more space between the engines and anything they could damage. This would result in even less wear on the pad, and if the catch doesn't work, lots of rebar in the concrete, remember? It would largely protect the pad from any mishaps. Another option would be that those lines hold nitrogen gas. It could be used to pressurize the prototypes before stacking. This is pure speculation. Let me know in the comments what you think. And finally, we have the ship quick disconnect construction. It's at Sanchez and it is for Pad 2, and so far it has received its first cryogenic lines and work platforms, while the extension that holds the quick disconnect plate itself has yet to be spotted. That's all there is beside the actual prototype construction. People sometimes ask me how I stay informed about all this. There are several good ways, and today's sponsor is one of them. Oh, actually, there is something else I want to tell you about. With so many news sources and noise, it can be quite overwhelming to get news we actually care about, especially for us space lovers. That is why I'm excited to introduce today's sponsor, Sift, the world's first AI-native news agent. It's free and incredibly easy to use. Simply type in the exact topic you care about, let's say Starship version 3, and Sift will analyze the news on that topic across the world, across every language, and summarize what's important. Once you follow a news topic, it's added to the sidebar. Now you will automatically get summaries on the most important news on those topics. I guess you know what my favorite topics to follow are. Best of all, it's free to download on both Android and Apple devices. Search Sift and download Sift AI News Agent on the App Store or Google Play today and stay on top of the news that you care about. Alright, back to what's left for V3 preparations, the prototypes. Ship 39 is still inside Gigabay 2 and under active stacking. I wouldn't be surprised if it does its first cryo test at the end of November or in early December. That's a few weeks. That's all it will likely take. That is the future of Starbase, and then there is the past. And that past is vanishing rapidly. Pad 1 is in full demolition mode. The blast berm has already largely disappeared. Over the past week, the crews have also been heavily focused on a tank farm. Wait, the tank farm? I thought that was going to stay. It is. Don't worry. To account for the new generation pad to replace Pad 1, part of the tank farm is no longer needed. Sort of. With the tower staying and not being reconstructed, it limits the flame trench to be placed in one spot and one spot only, facing the tank farm. Unfortunately, even with a flame trench, damage at the top of the trench cannot be eliminated entirely. So everything there must go. The new tank farm will fuel both pads. SpaceX has already put markings on the OLM itself. Those mark the lines along which crews will cut it up. Now you see it, now you don't. The days of this old Starship Pad are coming to an end, and what replaces it will very likely look almost identical to Pad 2. Before we move on, hit the subscribe button to stay informed. Like this video if it brought you value and become a wise supporter for extra content. Up to 7 picture galleries per week, satellite, helicopter and ground photos and 3D animations, chat with me and gain more insights on the topic you love. Thank you very much. All those things at Starbase will take shape within the next 6 months, roughly. The place is in constant change, and Starship is as well, and it is not only influenced by SpaceX. Viewed from the outside, one can easily conclude that NASA, an American government agency, and Elon Musk have a rather tense relationship. Musk and the US government have a, let's say, colorful past. The Trump-Musk feud in June 2025 saw Trump threaten to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts, while Musk responded that SpaceX would begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Dude. Shortly after posting, Musk deleted this very impulsive reply. These threats, however theatrical and hot-headed, exposed America's space program's vulnerability to personality conflicts between two quite eccentric billionaires. Let's clear a common misconception. Elon Musk and SpaceX don't hate NASA. In reality, their partnership has been quite fruitful. In a sense, SpaceX has absorbed NASA's rigorous safety protocols, while NASA has adopted faster development timelines. We have a clear win-win situation at hand here. The SpaceX-induced innovation wave didn't spare NASA, and that's a good thing. SpaceX has become NASA's most essential contractor and most unpredictable partner. A dynamic that has restored American crew access to space while creating unprecedented dependencies and tensions. With over $10 billion in contracts spanning crew transport, cargo resupply, and lunar landing systems, the relationship exemplifies both the promise and peril of relying on a private company with its own extraterrestrial ambitions. And this is a very important point, a situation that was unheard of before Musk and SpaceX. A private startup company able to single-handedly transform space access. a company with a set goal that is bigger than any venture before. To make life multiplanetary, let that sink in. At the same time, SpaceX is one, if not the most important supplier. SpaceX's Crew Dragon has completed 10 crewed missions to the International Space Station since 2020 without a hitch, while Boeing's Starliner has yet to finish a clean round trip. The Commercial Resupply Services program has delivered over 30 cargo missions. NASA's $4.93 billion commercial crew investment bought what the space shuttle never delivered: routine, reliable crew rotation. I know, that's strong, but if you look at it objectively, it's true. Yes, NASA pays SpaceX some very handsome money, but SpaceX really makes these dollars count. And at the same time, it has the unique position not to rely on these funds. It is, in fact, financially independent. Quick reminder, if you want to see how SpaceX is doing from the air with your own eyes, go to redlineheli.com/Felix. $25 off for anyone using the link. The Redline helicopter team is waiting for you. They'll show you the same Starbase views a photographer gets on his Starbase flights. Unforgettable stuff. So, SpaceX's projected 2025 revenue of $15.5 billion exceeds NASA's entire budget. And it now primarily comes from Starlink satellites, which serve over 7 million customers across 150 countries at this point. This financial independence enables Elon Musk's biggest obsession: establishing a self-sustaining Mars colony of 1 million people by 2050. Yes. Starship owes its existence solely to this ambition. It is designed with Mars in mind. And other uses came second to this goal. And this is where friction comes into play. While NASA contracted the HLS variant Starship as the Artemis 3 lunar lander, the Moon represents a contractual obligation, not SpaceX's destination of choice. Musk has even publicly called lunar missions a distraction from Mars priorities. A distraction. This misalignment is manifested in Artemis timeline pressure. Musk has yet to prove that SpaceX is able to reach all necessary milestones for a lunar landing on the third Artemis mission, which is planned for 2027. The company has to demonstrate that it can handle orbital refueling on an unprecedented scale, then fly a special HLS Starship into lunar orbit, land it on the Moon's surface, and then ascend back into lunar orbit. That's tough. Meanwhile, NASA acting administrator Sean Duffy is pursuing his own plans for the agency. He recently stated that he'd love to integrate NASA into the Department of Transportation, the DOT. This would enable him to supervise NASA's commercial space activities and other functions without officially serving as the agency's administrator. The president ordered him to find a new candidate to head NASA, but he has found out that spaceflight is more interesting than traffic jams and does not want to let go of his temporary position. Notably, he is starting to make significant decisions for NASA. In a statement, he claimed that SpaceX was falling behind and that NASA would open up the contract to competitors, including Blue Origin, triggering a characteristic Musk response on X, calling Duffy Sean Dummy and accusing him of trying to kill NASA. Okay. The partnership's future hinges on many unresolved questions. Can Starship demonstrate orbital refueling before China reaches the Moon? Will competition emerge as Boeing potentially exits and Blue Origin remains years from full operational capability? How does NASA balance growing dependency against the need for redundancy? The relationship works because mutual need transcends philosophical differences. NASA requires SpaceX's proven capabilities and innovation, while SpaceX benefits from NASA's profound experience and steady contracts. But then, SpaceX's own funds are steadily rising. How long will this dependency last? Will SpaceX outgrow NASA? SpaceX's and NASA's partnership is not smooth. It is more of a continuous negotiation between two partners with fundamentally different goals. One seeking to explore, the other to colonize. NASA isn't used to contractors not being dependent on its funds. It will be fascinating to see where this goes in the next few months. And on we go to Japan. JAXA successfully launched its next-generation HTV-X1 cargo spacecraft to the International Space Station last Sunday. The unmanned vessel lifted off at 9 a.m. local time from the Tangeshima Space Center aboard the powerful H3 rocket, entering its planned orbit just 14 minutes after liftoff. HTV-X represents a significant advancement over its predecessor, the H2 transfer vehicle nicknamed Konoturi. It completed 9 successful missions between 2009 and 2020. The new vehicle might be approximately 1.2 meters shorter at 8 meters in length, but the new spacecraft maintains an impressive payload capacity of 6,000 kilograms to low Earth orbit. With a twin compartment design, a pressurized compartment for supplies, and a separate unpressurized section capable of carrying large hardware components, HTV-X is very versatile. But maybe the biggest standout feature of the HTV-X is its extended operational capability. Unlike traditional cargo spacecraft that burn up upon re-entry after delivering supplies, the HTV-X can remain operational in orbit for up to 18 months after departing the ISS. It can also carry and deploy CubeSats. Now that is seriously clever, as it allows the vehicle to serve as a platform for technology demonstrations and on-orbit experiments, providing valuable opportunities for both government and commercial users. There's even more to unpack here. The launch also marked an important milestone for Japan's H3 rocket, showcasing its most powerful configuration. This version features 4 solid rocket boosters and an enlarged payload fairing. H3 replaced the retired H2A rocket in June. The new rocket is designed to be more cost-competitive in the global space market while maintaining Japan's reputation for precision and reliability. Japanese astronaut Kimija Yui, currently aboard the ISS, is assigned to capture the spacecraft with the station's robotic arm. And if all went to plan, by the time this episode airs, the transporter will be safely docked. The HTV-X1 will remain docked for up to 6 months, delivering critical supplies and retrieving waste before embarking on its extended independent mission. JAXA envisions the spacecraft eventually supporting NASA's Lunar Gateway station, if that ever happens. Speaking of the moon, Griffin Mission 1 is targeting a moon landing no earlier than July 2026. It is the first mission for Astrobotic's new lander. This flexible medium-class lunar lander is designed to deliver up to 625 kilograms to the lunar surface and survive for 14 days while providing communications and power to payloads. The fully loaded Griffin weighs more than 6,000 kilograms, making it the largest lunar lander since the Apollo program. Originally, Griffin 1 was intended to carry NASA's Viper, but NASA discontinued the project in July 2024 due to funding constraints and schedule risks. While new developments have since opened up another chance for Viper to still reach the moon, it is clear that it will not be part of Griffin 1. Viper is kind of like a zombie rover at this point. The mission is still part of NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services initiative, but its payload has changed. To enable this, the CLPS contract was modified to serve as a large lander demonstration flight with a similar mass payload. Astrobotic conducted a rigorous selection process among dozens of interested organizations before choosing Astrolab's FLIP rover as the primary payload. The mission will also carry Cube rover, a small rover developed by Astrobotic, along with payloads from ESA, NASA, and additional customers. 1 moon mission, 2 rovers, exciting. A SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket is the chosen launch vehicle deployed from Cape Canaveral. Let's have a closer look at the primary payload FLIP, or Flex Lunar Innovation Platform. We recently had a look at Astrolab's Flex lunar rover. The much smaller FLIP is its tech demonstrator, ready to showcase the technological solutions chosen for Flex. FLIP is a 4-wheeled robotic vehicle weighing 500 kilograms with a payload capacity of 30 kilograms. The rover has been designed to be compatible with medium-class lunar landers now entering the commercial space market, and testing has already begun. Key features of this vehicle include Venturi's unique hyper-deformable lunar wheels, engineered to be highly malleable while remaining long-lasting and robust, and specialized batteries designed to survive the deadly lunar night. FLIP will carry several payloads focused on understanding and mitigating lunar dust, including tests of protective coatings on solar arrays and radiators, along with new dust sealing strategies for wheel actuators. The rover's mission is designed to advance several Flex components and subsystems such as full-sized batteries, tires, avionics, sensors, and software. These experiments will evaluate critical technologies in the extreme temperatures and unique terrain found at the Nobile region at the lunar South Pole. That's it for today. Smash the like button, subscribe for more. This is what fuels the algorithm, and this is how you can help us for free. Check out our epic shirts in your favorite Space Nerd store. Our brand new Mechazilla shirt and our Raptor emblem design are both up. Link is in the description and the card you should see now, and if you want to learn more about what SpaceX's Starship goals are for 2026, watch this video next to continue your journey. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Elon Musk's biggest obsession. Excuse me. And on we go to the... Test. I wanted to say.